Hello? Are you guys in there? Are you guys in there? I'm just kidding, man. I'm glad to see you guys back. I'm glad to have you. I welcome anybody to the channel. So, my name is Adam. I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of an intro here. I'm going to be using nothing but these gel pens here. This is white. I don't know if my camera will pick up the brand, because my camera likes to be shy. There we go. But they're called Jelly Roll. It's just a white gel pen. So I'll be using this probably through like the whole video. Also, I like to use these because it gives me a break from airbrushing all the time. It just kind of gives it a little bit of a variety. That's why I like doing this and using like a paintbrush. Just so I don't paint all the time with an airbrush. It just kind of gives it a very different look on some of my other pictures, just so they're not the same old. But so yeah, I mean, they're really fun to use, they're easy, and it gives me a break from painting all the time, because sometimes, you know, painting gets kind of boring. Like, it's not boring, it's fun, don't get me wrong, it's fun. But every once in a while, I like to kind of stir away from that and just kind of do something a little bit different. That's why I like to use a paintbrush every once in a while. I'm not good with the paintbrush. I don't even know if I'm good with an airbrush. But I try my best, okay? But yeah, we're going to be doing nothing but gel pens. What am I doing? I'm on camera. Straighten up. So yeah, I will go ahead, and I just wanted to tell you guys a little bit of what I'm going to be doing, and then I'm most probably going to be talking throughout the whole video again, just to kind of clear some stuff up and help you guys as much as I can. But let's just go ahead and we'll get into it, man. Enough of me chit-chatting, so I'll see you in the video. All right, here we go. I'm just running over with the gel pen, bringing out all the highlights. And you're gonna notice that I go completely bonkers with this gel pen, but that is totally okay because this is my intention. So I'm just gonna go through and I'm gonna punch out a lot of these bright highlighted areas. And then when I go in the next video with my airbrush, I'm gonna load up the white. I'm gonna go back over a lot of this gel pen and kind of blend it in just so it doesn't stand out as much. And then I'm going to load up my black, and then I'm going to kind of push back some of the areas where my gel pen that I used a little bit too bright. So that is totally what I'm looking for, and that's what I'm wanting to do. And let me add that pay attention to the light source on how this is getting reflected, because that's like one of the big things is when you're painting a picture and you're looking at like the highlights and the shadows and stuff like that. It's kind of tricky looking at it at first, but the more you do, the more you're gonna pick up on it, and you know, it'll get easier from then. But in this case, the light source is kind of shining straight at him, so that is why the front of his teeth, his lips down to his chin, and his forehead. I guess the aliens have a forehead or a 5 head, if you can say that. But yeah, I mean, if you look at, you know, all the highlights on here on how I did it, and then you got the shadows after that. So whenever you're working with shadows and highlights, kind of pay attention to the direction of how it is shining, and then, you know, that is going to give you your three-dimensional look. FYI, if you guys are wanting to get you some white gel pens, I know a lot of stores have them. I bought them off Amazon for like, I think $4, and it came with 3 pens. I want to talk to you guys about something, because I know it's probably in the back of everybody's mind, when you're drawing a picture or when you're painting a picture. And that is, I hope I don't mess up throughout the whole picture. Try not to think that way, because then the more you think that way, then you're more unlikely you probably will mess up. So that is the reason why I said in the last video is like find something you like to do while you're painting, like listening to music and stuff like that, just to kind of mellow yourself out. This is all my personal experience and my opinion, but I usually mess up in every picture. So, you know, I try not to beat myself up about it. I am my own worst critic when it comes to art because I'm always wanting to push myself. But you know what? At the end of the day, usually I just kind of set it aside, and then I'll come back the next day when, you know, I got a new fresh set of eyes and I thought about it for a little bit on what I want to fix and how I want to fix it. So usually I come back and I will make it better than, you know, it originally was. And I usually go the extra mile, just because if I don't go the extra mile, then I kind of, you know, think that my picture is only half done. But sometimes going too much is just going too much. So you want to find the in-between spot of going too less and too much. So you just want to be happy with your picture. When I look at a picture, I wish I added more to it just to kind of make it a little bit better and make it stand out a little more. And sometimes, you know, I look at a picture and I wish I added less to it just because it just had too much going on with it. So you just kind of have to play around and be your own judge on how much you want to add and how much you don't want to add. So what I'm trying to say, and I'm rambling on about, is, you know, just do your best. Just try your best, give it your all with no regrets. And, you know, if you mess up, then you just try to figure out how to fix it. And if you can't fix it, then, you know, you tried, and then you just know how not to do it. So the next picture you do is going to be better than your previous picture. Don't beat yourself up about it, because it's going to happen regardless. It happens to me a lot, so I just, you know, find a way around it and, you know, try to fix it as best as I can. Okay, going back to the picture, I'm just going in and just adding, you know, all the saliva that's dripping from his mouth, all the wet areas. It does look a little rough right now, but that's okay, because my next video I'm going to kind of tighten it up and clean it up a lot more, so it will look a lot better. So I'm just kind of laying down a foundation. And if you watch my eyes on this part, because this is like a good example of how far I like my reference away, I like it really, really close. Although I don't print my references out on paper, I like to look off my TV screen. But if I sit in this position, all I have to do is just look up, and I don't have to turn my head or turn my body or anything like that. So it's a really quick snap of, you know, looking at my reference off my TV, and then I can look back at my picture and I can remember of where I want to add, you know, my highlights, or add, you know, the color, or, you know, whatever. So it makes it really, really easy. That's what I was talking about in the last video, that just keep your reference picture that you're looking at really, really close. And it'll be a lot easier for you to remember if you have it, you know, side by side, or, you know, right next to you somehow. This is just how I do it and how I like it. But, you know, there's nothing wrong with printing it out on, you know, an 8.5 by 11 sheet of, you know, paper, and looking at it on that, or using your phone or an iPad or whatever you can use. Something, maybe you can just, you know, pull it out of your head and just draw a picture straight out of your mind and do it that way, and you don't even have to look at a reference picture. So however you guys like to do it. So I'm just kind of putting, you know, my opinions in and my 2 cents in. So there's no wrong way and there's no right way. So whatever is easier for you, then that's the way you need to do it. you don't have to use a gel pen to get highlights. You can use, a paintbrush, or you can use the airbrush, or, there's a bunch of other different ways to get highlights and stuff like that. But I mean, I just like to use the gel pen just because I wanted something a little bit different, and all my other canvases that I used for the past couple of videos, I didn't get really to use the gel pen, so I just figured that's what I wanted to do on this one. But yeah, there's a lot of ways to achieve, different textures and different ways of making, your picture to look different. You don't have to like recreate the same exact picture as your reference. I mean, you can stray from that and do, your own style and make it different, and, add things and subtract things. So it's pretty much unlimited on what you want to do with art and how you want to go about it. So just use your imagination and, just let it roll. And what's really cool about using the gel pen is you can smear it. So after, when you make a line, you can take your finger and you can kind of smudge it a little bit to kind of get like a blur effect and kind of blend it in. That's always a nice little fun add-on that you can do. I do it a lot in the Batman and Superman videos that I've done in the past. If you want to check that out to kind of get an idea of how and why I do that, just to kind of make it a little bit different and interesting. That's just kind of a cool trick. I know my video coming up, this next one, is going to be probably my all-time favorite one, just because it's going to really pull in everything together and make the picture look well-rounded and complete. So I'm really excited and looking forward to that. And if you want to know, I am going to clear coat this. I have a different way of clear coating this, so I will gladly show you how I do it. I kind of done a little test samples here and there on the clear coat on what I should use and what I shouldn't use. So it is kind of different how I do it. I will definitely show you the way I do it. And if you like it and you want to try it, then by all means go ahead. If you don't, then you can do it a different way, and you're free to experiment. That's what makes art so much fun, is you can experiment and do it your own way and not anybody else's way. One of the reasons why I chose to paint the alien and to show you guys like a walkthrough on how I would go about doing an alien painting is I figured it would be a little bit easier. It wouldn't be hard and it wouldn't be easy. It would be kind of like in the middle. If I do a person, then that kind of adds a little pressure on you, because you have to make it look like the person, or if you don't make it look like the person, then it's gonna completely be changed and you won't recognize who it is. So you have to get like everything almost exact when you're doing people. But monsters and stuff like that, this kind of gives me a lot of free roam. I mean, if I mess up a little bit here and there, then you'll still know that it's an alien. Who knows what really aliens look like, other than what the movies kind of count them as. So that is the reason why I wanted to do an alien, just because you don't have to be 100% all the way through the picture to make it look like an alien. You can kind of hit and miss a couple areas, and it'll still come out good. So right here I'm just using a white Prismacolor pencil, just to kind of go in and just give it a little bit of textures here and there. I just had it laying around and I just grabbed it, and I just kind of just started using it. I mean, that's just how I do things, is when I see something that I want to use or that looks good, then I just go ahead and just add it in there. So that's what I'm doing right now. So this is what we got so far, and we just used nothing but the gel pen through this whole video. It does change the picture quite a bit. I mean, sure, this picture has got probably a little bit more detail in it than my picture does, but we're not done yet. We still got one more video to go through and fix some things and add a little bit more and kind of making it a little bit darker. But Yes, I want to thank you guys for watching and being with me. So can't wait until the next video. It's going to be fun, and I will see you guys later.